Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your new moon in Gemini message. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it's meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said now, my friends, let's begin. We're tapping into the Leo collective now. Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the Oracle card here, please, for the Leo collective for their new moon in Gemini message? One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have Fire, card number 27. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Meditate, card number 40. Okay. Let's get a Moonology card here, please, for the Leo collective. For the new moon and Gemini message. Let's get one more shuffle. Thank you. Okay. We have Believe in the Impossible, Blue Moon. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, Full Moon in Leo. We just had a blue moon, actually, the full moon in Sagittarius that we had at the end of May. Okay. Tell me more about this, please. So something may have occurred then in the energy of that full moon in Sagittarius. Something that was rare, right? Blue moons are rare. A blue moon, for those of you who don't know, is whenever we have two moons that occur within the same calendar 30-day period, the same month, if you will. And so we had a full moon in Scorpio at the start of May, and then we closed out the month with that full moon in Sagittarius, and that's what makes it rare. It is the only it was the only blue moon for the year. So I feel like something occurred at that time. Tell me more about this here, please, for the Leo collective. Maybe something that was impossible or something that was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, like for good or for bad. One more shuffle here. Thank you. We have the Ten of Swords. Okay. Six of Wands and Justice. Bottom of the deck, Four of Wands. All right. So there's something here in regards to partnership, stability, house and home, family. It's possible in that full moon in Sagittarius that we had that there was some kind of ending or just a feeling of betrayal that you experienced with someone. Tell me more about that. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Ten of Swords is clarified by the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Page of Cups. Bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Pentacles. So that Hierophant can be a lot of different things for me as a reader. Someone you're married to, you have a committed partnership with, or you want a higher level of commitment with them. It certainly can be family, family member, very close inner circle of friends, social groups like political, community, or religious. And in terms of work, that would be like the corporation or company or entity that you work for. So there was an act of betrayal here that you experienced at the hands of someone connected to that Hierophant. What you're not seeing is the act of betrayal is actually bringing in a new opportunity. Tell me more about that. Tell me about the Six of Wands. That is Leo energy, by the way. I don't know how bad that Ten of Swords is for you or what it was for you. Because for me, a lot of the sword cards are sliding scale. So, you know, this could be a lie by omission, but you took it as a betrayal because they've done it 10 times to you. You know, it could be a betrayal in terms of like financial betrayal. I say that because I don't have pentacles. So as a reader, I look what's on the table, what's not on the table. So maybe for some of you, there was like a financial betrayal, like you were due a commission or a raise and you didn't receive it, or you received less than you thought you were getting. It certainly can be like a family member or a friend again. So that sliding scale, that Ten of Swords, it can be anything from emotional disappointment to full out betrayal. I don't know how bad it is. And that's why I'm going to say that whoever inflicted that Ten of Swords on you, they are apologetic. And you might be sitting there rolling your eyes like, well, too fucking bad. But there is an apology, but again, a Page of Cups does not match the Ten of Swords that you felt. So this is almost giving me the feeling of like, I'm sorry you feel that way, which actually isn't a real apology. It's not, I'm sorry I did this to you, you know, and made you feel that way or made you experience those emotions or that experience. This is more like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Six of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Wands is clarified by the Lovers, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Four of Swords. For me, queens exist in the present. They're processing the present. They're processing the past. And kings take action. I have you here in Queen of Cup energy. It's like I'm still processing what this person did to me, what transpired, the way I was slighted, the way I felt betrayed, the way I felt backstabbed. And you're holding on to that, okay? You're holding on to the fire, like the anger, if you will. And again, you might have every right to do that. But I just see you here like you're making the choice here. I'm holding on to the fact that this person betrayed me, and it's almost like you want them to pay for it. You want them to pay for it, pay up for it. You want victory over that. So we'll use work as an example. Maybe there was a position you were interested at work and you applied for it and you didn't get it, but the lazy coworker next to you was promoted and received that. And you're still holding on to that bitterness, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to show them that they picked the wrong person for the job. I'm going to make it like my job. So this is the don't let pride get in your way, because there could be, again, just using that as an example, a little bit like, well, I'm going to show them that they picked the wrong person or that they should have picked me. I feel like you're pissed off about the Ten of Swords that happened. Please don't allow me or any tarot reader to tell you how you should feel about something. But this, to me, seems like your pride or your ego was injured by the act of betrayal. Even though there's a small apology here, it's not really, it would not balance the scales in your eyes. Like, okay, you're sorry that you gave the job to someone else after promising it to me. Okay, yeah, thanks for your sorry, but it doesn't change my position. I'm still pissed off about it, and I'm choosing to hold on to that because, again, I feel like pride or ego was injured. And look, pride or ego are not dirty words. We all have them. So, again, I just feel like it took a hit to your pride. This could be the same thing if this was a relationship, you know, a friend backstabs you or a family member backstabs you and you're like, oh, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm still pissed off that you did that. I still want you to right that wrong. There it is. Thank you. You still want whoever did this to you to right the wrong. And you don't care how sorry they are. You just want them to right the wrong. If it's not your message, just check another placement. I think you need to also believe in the impossible, because I think what you don't see coming is the wrong being righted some way, somehow, karmically balanced, whether through that person or people or something else. Justice. Tell me about justice. I think you're fired up, pissed off over this. Tell me about justice. One more shuffle. Thank you. Justice is clarified by Three of Swords, Temperance, and the Death card. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. I think you're really pissed off. And look, you may have every right to be pissed off at that professional, platonic, or romantic connection, or again, group of people, no matter how sorry they claim to be or they state that they are. I think you have every right to be upset. But I think what you don't see coming is there's some angelic support, if you will, Temperance to the Death card, that will actually prove to you that this was, I don't want to say worth it when someone experiences the Ten of Swords, because I've gone through it recently and it's taken me a lot to recover from it, and I'm still processing everything. I'm still Queen of Cups like you are. Don't accuse me of being a Leo. I'm not a Leo. I have like no Leo placements. But so I understand what that is for you. Obviously not exactly, because it's a collective general reading. But I just feel like what you're not seeing is this ends up turning out in your favor. Like you end up better off for it, even though you might not see it now. Because right now you're just like, I want them to pay for this, or I want them to make it right, or I want to prove to them that they shouldn't have crossed me, or again, they picked the wrong person. They shouldn't have effed with me. They shouldn't have effed with me. Tell me about that Death card. I feel like you're getting angelic support. You might not see it now. And I think that's what this message is for. So we have that new moon in Gemini. This is that reading. On June 14th, I would call this in. I would do a new moon ritual. You can go to my website, thetimelinetarot.com. In the navigation or the menu there, click on toolbox. It's a spiritual toolbox. The new moon rituals are free. You don't have to join, become a member or anything like that. There are 3 new moon rituals. Select the one that you feel the most comfortable with performing. I would perform this in the energy of the new moon, and I would call this in, this karmic correction, if you will. Tell me more about the death card. Okay. Knight of Wands. I feel like it will come in quickly. The Knight of Wands in your deck always gives me that feeling of like success, like valor, victory. Tell me more about that death card here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The 10 of Wands and the Page of Swords. There's that communication. 5 of Wands because of that conflict. The Fool card and the 2 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles here. Okay, look, if this is a court ruling, you might feel like, well, that job or that family member or that group of people, maybe they really screwed you over. Okay, maybe this is insurance and you're expecting a settlement and you didn't get the right amount, or there's just a lot of contentious, right? Justice could be court. Same thing if this is any type of like family dispute, maybe like inheritance, wills. Maybe you're going through a divorce and you're selling a property and you need to split the proceeds with your person. If it's legal in nature, regardless of what the context of that legality is, I think what you don't see coming is information communication that turns this around in your favor, that 10 of Pentacles. I think this ends up balancing itself out. So I would call this in. So if you're going through anything legal, anything financial, or some kind of court case, I would call this in, this news or information, because I don't think you can see how when you receive this news, it's like you're able to drop the burdens. You're able to, it's almost like you get to push right through it. And that's a change that you're not seeing right now. And I feel like there's some angelic support. So I would bring this in. If this is a friend, a family member, or a lover who did that, you know, betrayed you in some way or wounded you or hurt you in some way, there's some news, information, or communication that you're getting that they are receiving. I don't know how to say this. I'm not this kind of reader. It's almost like they're receiving what they did to you, but it might look different to you. So, example, this is a lover who cheated on you and you're really pissed off and you want to get them back, right? Because you're just so wounded, right? That hurts your pride and ego, right? At the core of it, when someone steps out on the connection with you and maybe you sever the tie and that justice card, you're like, I'm done with you. I'm heartbroken. They end up receiving something that hurts them just as much, but it may not be the same thing. Like maybe they lose the promotion or they lose the job or their car breaks down, or you might not see it as an eye for an eye, but karmically it is, because they will feel 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, just like they put on you. I'm literally not one of those readers. So I'm not telling you to do any kind of black magic. I'm not telling you to call in something negative for this person or these people. I think what you should be calling in and the energy of the new moon is angelic support and a divine correction, a karmic correction for whatever has transpired here against you. Whatever, 'cause I feel like this is like a trespassing. It feels trespassing to me, like someone did something they shouldn't have done and you're really upset about it. I would just ask for karmic justice. That's what I would call in. I would call in the karmic justice, however the universe wants to bring it in to you, because I feel like the end result is the 10 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and the World card. So I just feel like this ends up having a little bit of like a happy ending that you did not see coming. And again, I think it's because right now you're caught up in this and you're holding on to the anger and you're making the choice to do that because you're still processing the past. And like I said, I get it. I'm going through it right now. I did not see that coming. I wouldn't have seen that coming in a million years. And it's a lot for me to process. But I am starting to get to the point where I do believe that it happened for a reason and I'm going to be better off in the long run for it. So this is your reading, not mine. I just want you to know that you're not alone with this. Whatever it is for you, whether it's legal or having to do with some other type of structure in your life or long-standing connection in your life, I would just call in for, I don't even want to call it retribution, karmic correction. I would call in for new in the energy of the new moon in Gemini. And then I would believe that the impossible is about to happen. And so meditate on that, right? Some of the any of the new moon rituals that you do, new moon, full moon, doesn't matter. You need to meditate on it, okay? And there's also on that website meditation guide for you as well, for those of you not familiar with meditation. So let's get you 3 cards of advice here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Pentacles and the Devil. And the 3 of Cups, there's that cause for celebration. So I would call in the opportunity for you to overcome whatever toxicity this was here. Okay, I do think it's a cause for celebration here. Bottom of the deck, you have 7 of Swords. Yeah, someone did a number on you or is in the process of doing that. I think you're going to be okay, but I would call in the new to override this. There's some type of angelic support here that you should call in for. Can I get 1 card on that Devil? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Devil is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. Everything's going to turn in your favor. Okay, this is a karmic cycle. That's why I would call in that karmic clearing, if you will, karmic justice, something like that. I feel like this is a destined turning point. You will overcome whatever this is. So call in for karmic balance, and that's exactly what will happen. And like I said, I do believe it is in your favor. That is what I have for you, Leo. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.